Hello, dear friends. My name is Sofya Dorinskaya. I am a doctor, the head of the Center for Medical Information and the School of Mental Health. So, the next very unpleasant complication after a COVID infection that we will discuss today is urinary incontinence. People write in, and it really is a serious consequence. I want to say right away that it can last quite a long time. The cause of this, as is believed and as we can indeed assume, is firstly a direct impact on the nervous system and of course the general exhaustion of the nervous system. COVID affects the nervous system in this particular way. As I understand it, there is a certain dystrophy of the nerve tissue that occurs. And the primary mechanical cause is the weakening of the essential pelvic floor muscles. Moving to the next part, let's start by looking at the nervous system. Now, let us take a closer look at what we have here in this specific area. Of course, when it comes to the nervous system, B vitamins are most important. I have already mentioned in my previous videos that meat must absolutely be included in the diet. One of the most important B vitamins is found in animal liver, so animal liver should be included in your diet about 2 or even 3 times a week as one of your meals. Next is taking B-complex supplements, such as the so-called B50 complex or B100 complex. You should take all of these according to the instructions for the supplement you purchased. Let me repeat once again, this applies if you are outside of our protocols and outside of our curation days for your particular case. Moving on to the next point. In addition to supplying the entire nervous system with the essential nutrients it requires, for the nervous system to fully recover and regenerate, it is absolutely essential that it must first be placed in a deep state of rest. Second, a person must be in very comfortable conditions for themselves, in very comfortable conditions. What does a state of rest mean? You need to establish a work and rest schedule, and you should not exhaust or overwork yourself because your nervous system is already depleted. And if you create such a work schedule that you continue to push yourself to exhaustion, then recovery will take so long that it's unclear whether it will happen at all. So, a proper work and rest schedule is fundamental. On weekends, limit your physical activity. In general, when a person has vitamin deficiencies, and in fact that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. In Soviet times, people with vitamin deficiencies, especially children, were hospitalized for one simple reason: to limit physical activity so that the nutrients being consumed would be used to restore the body rather than for immediate needs. That's why limiting physical activity is a very important part of the recommendation. When I say that a person should be in very comfortable conditions, I mean first and foremost warmth. You should dress very warmly. Please make sure that you don't get cold. Well, I don't know, everyone has their own life, but still you can plan ahead and do something so that you don't get cold. And I have a very good piece of advice for you. Buy yourself an electric blanket. Why? First, you simply put the electric blanket directly underneath your bottom bed sheet and sleep with the electric blanket fully powered on throughout the night. Take a moment to adjust it, Carefully set the heat to a specific level that is most comfortable for you. And this allows you, while you sleep, to very gently and effectively warm your entire body from the outside in. That is, your body doesn't have to spend any energy warming up the bed, the blanket, and so on and so forth. In other words, your body is constantly being warmed from the outside and remains in very comfortable conditions. Because for the recovery of the nervous system, comfortable conditions are of utmost importance. And above all, that means warmth. So warmth should be made a top priority. Once again, dress warmly. And this is just my advice to you. this electric blanket which gently warms you throughout the night. You will see that your body will be fantastically grateful for this. Next is muscle relaxation. Dear friends, I understand that when a person hears that the cause of such an unpleasant consequence as urinary incontinence is muscle weakness, the first thing they think is that they need to exercise to train the pelvic floor muscles. But I want to tell you that even though it may not be a major workout, it is still exercise. So when exactly is the right time for you to begin strengthening and conditioning your muscle groups? First, after your initial rehabilitation, or even during the course of your rehabilitation program, specifically when you start to feel significantly better and you have that natural urge to stretch out a little bit. And what should you do when you get this urge? Don't stretch. No, it is actually very important that you should remain in this specific state of good physical feeling for at least another 3 to 4 weeks. And only after those 3 to 4 weeks have fully passed, and when you are already feeling quite well and stable, can you then gradually start the process of strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. Of course, if you were very physically active before your surgery or injury, your personal recovery will likely go a bit faster than average. But I especially want to caution all the athletes out there. Please do not rush straight back into your intense training routines too early, as your body still needs time to heal properly. The body is completely and utterly exhausted. The body is entirely drained of its resources, and the body has expended and sacrificed a truly tremendous amount of energy to recover. Give yourself time to recover. And even when you, I repeat, actually start feeling quite well again, you should still make sure to give your physical body much more time to fully recover while you are in this good state. Another reason that is mentioned and which leads to urinary incontinence is iron deficiency anemia. It really can occur after COVID. Its symptoms include dizziness, pale skin, darkening of vision, headache, and lethargy. That's the kind of condition we're talking about. What can be recommended here? Of course, iron supplements and everything else I mentioned earlier. All those vitamin supplements and certainly vitamin C, without it we can't do without. Vitamin A, without it we can't do without either. Specifically for this problem, it's the B complex 50 or B complex 100. And once again, we must ensure truly comfortable conditions for the human body. These comfortable conditions for the body specifically mean consistent warmth, high-quality nutrition, and the complete absence of physical exhaustion. So make sure to create such conditions for yourself, and gradually, little by little, you'll see how your body starts to recover from this difficult state. Once again, I want to say, don't wait. It might not happen in a month or 2 or even 3. The situation may last longer. Just keep going, just keep going. Watch cheerful movies, watch comedies, remove all negativity from your life, and in your mind create and picture a bright future for yourself. And everything will be fine for you. This was Sofya Dorinskaya with you. Best. Goodbye.